The mental game, the reason my mind, that's the most important thing out of all of this above anything else. I can have all the gear and all this stuff, but if I can't convince myself to go, then it's not even worth it. So the first motivating factor was going back to school. And so I'm going back to school full time in the fall, and I looked at the summer and decided this would be a good summer for the Tour Divide. Because when I get back, then it'll be a different mindset anyways. So convinced myself, go to school, which took about a year and a half of convincing to just even think about that. And then Tour Divide has always been kind of in the back of my mind. And like I said earlier, it seemed like the natural progression. So switching my Iowa life, decided my riding life needed a big mix-up too. So the Tour Divide to me, it's been, I've been thinking about it probably, definitely every day, constantly for the last month. And just in terms of, you know, like when I'm laying in my bed at night, I think, all right, I'll be laying outside at night, I won't be inside. Just little things like that, just to remind myself that I won't be comfortable, it won't be fun, but it will be comfortable and it will be fun at other times. So for me, I have a mindset of very stubborn, very not like to the point where anything's bad or dangerous. I'll stop before that, but it's definitely something that scares me a lot right now. And I think that's as far as I've let my mind go, is just to the point where I'm definitely scared, definitely ready to sit down and study the course. I like to do that, as this is, you know, the last thing I have on my plate is studying the course and learning more about that. And for me, those are the numbers I like looking at. I like knowing mileage and time. Elevation I know is important to some people, and I think I'll like looking at the map, but I don't think I'm going to want to know how many miles it takes to get to the top of the mountain. I'll just keep pedaling. I'm not going to go any faster or any slower with the single speed, so there's that.
You look, are you looking forward to riding with people or by yourself?
Both. I want to ride with people, and I want to ride alone. I mentioned I was scared, and I think that the number one thing I'm afraid of is being alone. But I want to get over that, because once I am alone, it's okay. It's just those little, you know, those 20-minute sections of being alone where you're trying to let yourself think maybe too much, and just relaxing and realizing what you're doing, and that you don't need another person there to be with you all the time. So for me, I want to be alone, and I want to figure out what I can do by myself. And if I happen to ride with someone, then that's great, and it'd be wonderful, but I'm never going to force it. I never do. It's like the natural flow again of riding. You know, if I'm riding with someone, happy.
Yeah.
If I'm not, should still be happy. So mileage and goals. My goal is to finish in 28 days, which would be about 100 miles a day. The way that I ride and the way that I think, like I said, numbers are important, but they're not what that's not what's driving me. The mileage a day is not my motivation. I start slow and I usually end things faster, so I'm hoping my average is 100 miles a day, if not better. So when I get out there, I have a feeling the beginning will be the hardest. You know, the first 5 to 7 days will be the most difficult. And then from there, the next week I'm hoping maybe I've figured some things out that I was worried about and realized it's going to be alright, and just keep pedaling. So a good average pace is always what I'm looking for. I think if I get to 32 days and my average is a little lacking, I'll be okay. If I get past 35 days, I'll probably call for a ride, but depends on how I feel about 35 days when I get there. Right now I'm not too happy about that thought, but maybe I will be when I'm there. What else was there?
You expect it to get stronger as you go?
Yeah, everyone tells me I'll get stronger as I go on. So I'm expecting to get stronger, and again, that's, you know, it's the same way I ride 100 miles. When I start a 100-mile ride, I'm not going as fast as I'll be going at the end of the ride. Hopefully my average picks up as I go, and I can, you know, see the, you know, 0.1 increase in my average every hour. That's what I like to see. I'm thinking, you know, 10 to 12 to 17-hour days would probably be my limit. Once I get past the 20-hour mark, then I kind of fall apart, and for a good reason. But those are the numbers I keep in my head. I keep good averages in my head. I have a big, like, I round up and I round down. I don't ever have, like, a set thing that I need to have, which I guess kind of the craving wise, I don't like looking at the numbers. I don't like looking at that elevation. I like looking at the map, but that's why I'm going to sit down and study the map, so it's more so in my head than on paper. And really, as far as numbers and mileage go, it's still just in my head. Like, I'm literally going a distance, but mentally, if 100 miles feels like 200, then that's a problem. So I have to make sure I keep my mind in a happy place and remember that these 3 miles might be really hard, but the next 3 miles won't. So just those little things. And things that help me keep that mindset: music. I'll have headphones, but I don't like to turn my music on until I need it. It's kind of like a treat, just like any snack. So
Sure.
I don't turn music on until I need it. I don't eat certain foods until I need them. Like sometimes I'll start chewing gum to kind of distract myself from thinking and get into like a rhythm. I like hard candies for that too, because it's a good taste that'll sugar, keep me happy for a little longer. And then everything else, I'll eat pretty much anything. I'm not picky. There's no restrictions.
Anything you're going to miss that you have daily now, like comforts or foods or anything that you're not going to be able to find out on the route?
And really, I was thinking about this. I said this the other day. So the work and the schedule that I have now, I wake up at 5:30 every morning. I drive a school bus from 6 to 9-ish. I go from work here from 10 to 5 every day. Most nights I'm leading rides or was going to school, so I'm already doing 12-hour days. If anything, I'm going to be come back and not want to do, any of the things I was doing. So when I'm seeing this as a vacation. I'm seeing it as a break. I'm looking at it as I won't have to clock in and out 4 times a day. So I just want to go now.